Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. May 28th will mark Memorial Day. It commemorates all men and women who have died while serving in the U.S. military. And in honor of those lost, our focus today is on individuals who have served in the armed forces and work hard every day to help support their fellow veterans. Bryan Regnier is a Marine Corps veteran and host of VetBiz TV and business insurance advisor at the Star Group. And Quentin Hatfield, he's an Army veteran and executive director of VetsNet. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here. And I'd like to start off finding out a little bit more about what you do. Bryan, if you would, give us a better idea of what VetBiz TV is all about.
Sure. VetBiz TV was created, actually the president of the Star Group and I had a conversation about how we can bring attention and call attention to the great things that veterans, veteran-owned businesses, and veteran organizations are doing in the communities, business, and life in general. Yeah,
so you put all of these interviews on the YouTube channel and really just showcase people who have businesses, and you really allow others to be able to support and utilize the skills that they have.
Definitely, you know, and that's what it's all about. It's about giving back and bringing veterans and veteran issues and veteran organizations, veteran-owned businesses to the forefront and sharing those great things that they're doing, because you know, it's something that I've always wanted to do, you know, is go out there and bring attention to these guys, because there's a lot of great things that veterans are doing, but a lot of people are unaware of that.
Absolutely, and that's why we're glad to have you here today to make sure even more people are aware. And Quentin, we'd love for you to fill us in on VetsNet and what you provide on a daily.
Well, I'm glad to do it. VetsNet is the Wisconsin Veterans Network. We are a nonprofit collaborative agency. We're not a direct service agency, but we collaborate with all other veteran service organizations, the VA itself, other nonprofits, and community agencies to help veterans find resources, and this would be veterans with needs or veterans and veteran families in crisis. So helping them to connect quickly to resources to solve their needs, anywhere from homelessness to home repairs and everything in between.
Yeah, because when you think about it, in this day and age, people are quick to say, oh, well, just go online. But if you're in a scenario where you don't have access to going online, or you don't have a smartphone in your pocket, really it's helpful to know that there is a place to go that will have a list of resources available to help you in your time of need. And that's exactly what you guys aim to do.
We do. Yes, we do.
That's awesome. So you've been around since early 2016. So for a little over 2 years, you've been really giving back to veterans. What has been, in your opinion, the outcome of being able to provide these resources?
Well, one of the outcomes is developing a good network of partner organizations. What we find in our veteran community, and there are about 360,000 veterans in the state of Wisconsin, and almost 60% of them are not eligible for VA benefits, which creates real crises in some families who have critical needs, and they're not eligible to go through the VA or veteran service organizations. And so we build partnerships to help them. We triage their needs and help connect them quickly to meet those needs. What's surprising is that fully 50% of the people we serve are qualified, have gone to the system, but it's a complex maze, and have been frustrated in not being able to find the resources that they are qualified for.
And so, Bryan, I'm interested in knowing, how do you go about finding these veterans who have businesses or who are operating and want others to know about it?
It's funny, I go online. You know, a lot of it is just relationships that I've built in the past. I'm part of the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce. And there's some other veteran organizations out there that you just run into other veteran business owners, veterans who are doing great things with companies, doing great things in the communities, and then there's big supporters of veterans too that we're just trying to call attention to them and share the great things that they're doing. But it's really simple the way social media is today pretty much find anybody that you want.
Yeah, and then you just contact them and the connection is made, and then word travels, and it really is an awesome setup. So I was wondering, you guys, you're located really close to the VA hospital, which really is important, right?
We're on that miracle veteran mile, 6317 West Greenfield Avenue, about a mile from the VA hospital and the VA regional office.
I gotcha. And you just, you mentioned that there are a number of veterans who don't actually qualify for a lot of what the VA offers. So the VA, I'm sure, is quick to use you as a resource as well to send them to see if you can help them out in some ways.
They have been a good referral source for us.
Yeah. So in your opinions, we always hear about some of the issues that veterans face on a daily basis, and I just wanted to get you guys' opinions on some of the main things that you see individuals dealing with that you feel are important for, you know, these other organizations to be able to help them. What do you notice in your work?
I would say primarily we're dealing with homelessness or threat of homelessness as the #1 issue. Surprisingly, even in a very good Wisconsin economy, this year, joblessness or a need for better jobs or job training has become a big issue that we're dealing with veterans.
Okay, and so with just doing the work that you do, what are some of the issues that you notice?
A lot of it is the jobs and careers. That's something that I've seen a lot of, just talking to different people in the community and some of these veteran-owned businesses and veteran organizations is, you know, especially with these large, the commerce coming in and the economy booming here right now in Wisconsin, a huge thing that a lot of these employers are looking for is labor. They can't find qualified labor for their organization. So I mean, what Quentin's doing to help find training and provide the education that they need to get these jobs.
And those skills, absolutely.
Exactly.
Because we just had the Lieutenant Governor, Rebecca Clayfish, here, and she always tells us that there's these list of thousands and thousands of jobs, but the problem is that they don't always have the people who have the skills that are needed to fill these jobs. So that is a big thing, and to know that there's your organization there helping to fill that void is great. So some of the other issues that we constantly hear about is, of course, substance abuse and mental health, but you also have those vets who are in homes who are in need of home repairs and maybe don't have the money to take care of that depending on their age or whatever their scenario may be. So you interviewing businesses out there can make that connection, and I'm guessing veterans look out for veterans, right?
We sure do.
Absolutely. And you guys came from two different armed forces, but I just want you to talk about your experience and your memory of being a part of the Army, and you were with the Marines,
Correct.
right? So talk a little bit about that.
I doubt that there's any affiliation with your fellow human being that creates relationships quite like the relationships that we would create in the military, serving together. And I'm so old, but
How old are you now?
I still have 3 of my friends from Vietnam who live in far-flung parts of the country, and, and we still get together every Veterans Day just to continue those relationships. It's realizing that there is someone who's had your back, and they realize at times you had theirs. And it was at critical times, and there is no relationship quite like that. Yeah,
and what about you with the Marine Corps?
It's a fraternity. I mean, it's I would say kind of like college in a sense that, you know, you form relationships that will be forged forever. And these guys, you know, they, like Quentin said, they have your back no matter what. Sometimes it's, you know, if you're overseas and, you know, you're in the thick of it all, well, guess what? That's all you have. So through those times and experiences that you have, that's where you create the strongest relationships.
Yeah, and it's a camaraderie and a brotherhood, and like you said, no matter how far back you go, those people are always a part of the fabric of what really made you the man that you are today. I mean, my brother was also in the Army, and his Army friends are now my friends because they've been around that long, so I really can't understand that. With Memorial Day coming up, it's inevitable during times of war that we don't lose soldiers who are fighting for our country. So when you have Memorial Day come along, how do you remember some of those comrades that you had that were lost?
I think we try to use our social media. We try to promote any Memorial Day event that veterans can attend in this community, and there are lots of them, from Memorial Day parades to picnics, and make sure that the veteran community can connect with one another at events that memorialize those fallen heroes.
Yeah. What about you, Bryan?
You know, I don't think there's enough love and support or remembrance that we can even show those families and those veterans that made the ultimate sacrifice. But I think that we can wake up every day and just be thankful and grateful for everything that we have. And the best way to support those guys and to remember them, I think, is to take advantages of the freedoms that we have. Work hard every single day at what we do, and, you know, be an example for people in our community.
Yeah, and one way of doing that is really supporting what it is that you guys are doing. So if someone would like to add to being a resource, how would they get in touch with you to, you know, kind of provide their services to vets who are in need?
They can contact, they of course can call us directly at 414-257-3624. They can come in to us through our Facebook page or through our web page and connect with us that way, and make known what they'd like to bring to the table to help support what we're doing. We're looking for volunteers to help at various events occasionally. We just had a great volunteer group in this week helping us to bring our entire systems into the 21st century so we can manage cases more quickly and more efficiently. But people want to be involved, they want to make a contribution, and we have various ways that they can do that. And if they just call us, come in through our social media, we'll make the connections.
That's what it's about, making those connections. And then, of course, with VetBiz TV, again, I'll encourage everyone to check you out on your YouTube channel. But you are highlighting businesses that are run and owned by veterans. So that's a great way to show support, and even a way to say thank you for all that you've done in fighting for our country and allowing all of us to enjoy the freedoms that we have each and every day.
Definitely.
Yeah, so thank you both. And as we wrap up this segment, collaboration is huge. So you guys work together, not only the two of your organizations, but also other organizations, as you said, throughout this conversation. But you've got some awesome success stories. I read a story on your website about a young man who was a young vet, homeless and unemployed. His goal was to get an apartment, pass his ACT, and be accepted to UW Milwaukee. And I'm just really happy that with Our Issues Milwaukee, we've been able to showcase a couple of the organizations that really were able to help this young man. So you had the Milwaukee Homeless Veterans Initiative and then Dry Hooch. Talk about that.
Well, when Jacob came to us, he was an unusual case because he had been couch surfing for a number of months and paying friends or families of friends for a place to stay, no place of his own. As it always is, it was late in the afternoon. And he's homeless, and now he can't couch surf anymore. And so we reached out very quickly to Dry Hooch, to Otis at Dry Hooch, by the way, and he came and picked him up. Jacob wanted to be close to UWM campus, and Otis knew some apartments there where maybe they could take a roommate in, and connected them very quickly that day. And then we reached out to MHVI, and they were able to furnish his room in that apartment, and I think provide even a couple of other things like a kitchen table for the whole group that was living there.
Yeah.
So you're right, it's all about collaboration. It's knowing what agencies to reach out to and quickly meet the veteran need. And this year alone, we have had 3 veteran families who were homeless with young children, and working with other agencies like the Center for Veterans Issues and the VA itself, to quickly provide housing and get those families into homes, into jobs, so they can be self-sustaining.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It takes a village, and we are going to be meeting Otis from Dry Hooch coming up in the next segment. But I thank you both for coming by and sharing all the outstanding information, and I'm hoping that all of the viewers at home watching can take advantage and either volunteer or, you know, spread the word to make sure other veterans out there are using your resources. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
A pleasure. Bryan Regnier is a Marine Corps veteran and host of VetBiz TV and business insurance advisor at the Star Group. And Quentin Hatfield, he's an Army vet and executive director of VetsNet. For more information on anything that we've discussed, you can visit wisvetsnet.org and vetbiz.tv on YouTube. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll find out more about a nonprofit organization that has a mission of helping veterans and their families who survived the war and thrive in peace. We will meet one of the representatives from Dry Hooch right after this.